A group of friends spent a weekend gambling in Las Vegas. One of the men on that trip won $100,000. He didn't want anyone to know about it, so he decided not to return with the others, but took a later plane home. Arriving back at 3 a.m. he immediately went out to the backyard of his house, dug a hole, and planted the money in it. The following morning, he walked outside, and found only an empty hole. He noticed footsteps leading from the hole to the house next door, which was owned by a deaf mute. On the same street lived a professor, who understood sign language, and was a friend of the deaf man. Grabbing his pistol, the enraged man went to awaken the professor and dragged him to the deaf man's house. "You tell this guy that if he doesn't give me back my $100,000, I'm going to kill him," he screamed at the professor. The professor conveyed the message to his friend, and his friend replied in sign language, "I hid it in my backyard, underneath a cherry tree." The professor turned to the man with the gun and said, "He's not going to tell you. He said he'd rather die first." Death comes to collect a man's soul. When he gets to the man's home, he sees the man and his family are in the middle of party. Death tells the man why he has come. The man begs Death to spare him, but Death insists that he must start at the top of his list and his name is first. The man sadly agrees but asks Death if he could at least finish up the party with his family. Death agrees and they invite him to join the festivities. While Death is distracted with the party, the man quickly moves his name to the bottom of the list. Death has a great time and at the end of the party he's in a good mood. He turns to the man and says, "You know what? Since you've treated me to such a great time, I'll start from the bottom of the list this time." A guy walks into a bar and says, "Give me a shot of your finest whiskey, and pour one for yourself, on me." The bartender is surprised but pleased, so he pours 2 shots of the most expensive scotch in the house. They toast and drink up. After a few moments, the man gets up and walks towards the door without paying. The bartender chases after him and says, "Hey, what's the big idea? You haven't paid the bill." The guy says, "Sorry, I haven't got a cent on me." So the bartender grabs him by the collar and tosses him out the door and says to not come back. The next night the same guy walks in and the bartender is about to kick him out, but the guy says, "Give me 2 shots of your finest whiskey. I'm really sorry about last night. Let me make it up to you. Let's have another couple of shots and be friends again." The bartender is wary but figures no one would be crazy enough to pull the same stunt twice, and gives the guy the benefit of the doubt. He pours and they drink up. But once again the guy gets up to leave without paying. The bartender chases after him again and says, "Hey, you owe me for all those drinks." The man shrugs, "Sorry, I haven't got a cent on me." So the bartender really roughs him up this time and sends him on his way with a black eye and a bloody lip. The next night the same guy shows up again and says, "Give me 1 shot of your finest whiskey." "What?" the bartender mocks. "How come you're not buying me a drink as well this time? Holy smokes, dude, no way, you get way too violent when you drink." Three girls died and were brought to the gates of heaven. Upon entering the gate, they were halted by St. Peter and his obedient angel. St. Peter asked the girls, "Before entering you must answer this simple question." "Which is?" they replied in unison. "Have you been a good girl?" he asked the first girl. "Oh yes," she said. "I was a virgin before I got married and was still virgin even after I got married." "Very good," said St. Peter. "Angel, give this girl the golden key." "Have you been a good girl?" he asked the second girl. "Oh, quite good," she said. "I was a virgin before I got married but was not after I got married." "Very good," said St. Peter. "Angel, give this girl the silver key." "Have you been a good girl?" he asked the third girl. "Oh no, not at all," she said. I practically had sex with every guy I met before and after I got married. Anywhere, anytime. Very good, said St. Peter. Angel, give this girl my room key. Please, subscribe to my channel Jokes Vokes, like, share, and comment on my videos.